You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Friday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby.
I want to give a big shout out to my friends Nick and Matrina. They're getting married this weekend.
Yay!
And I want to give them an even bigger shout out because they have an open bar.
Damn.
Which, that's the best, dude. That's the absolute best.
Honestly, in this economy, I couldn't imagine. Also, though, when I got married, most of the people I invited to my wedding were radio people. And we all drank a lot, so I absolutely was like, no, y'all are paying.
I know maybe it's illegal to say, but they did the run out to Quebec and just went to Costco and stocked up on a bunch of booze, which is weirdly illegal.
That's so strange.
You're not allowed to bring it back over for some reason.
That you can't cross. I get when it's there's things about Canada-U.S. border. Yeah. But provincially? Weird.
I really like the open bar at a wedding because, of course, free booze is the best booze. But also, I like to think about it the same way, when me and Courtney did our all-inclusive trips, is what I'm spending to get there for the hotel and then for the gift that I'm giving you, right. I'm going to get everything back in my drinks.
Oh, you think of it as being equal.
Yeah.
You would like to try and personally bankrupt these newlyweds on the happiest day of their life.
With the whatever $300 plus $400 we've spent to go to this wedding, I'm going to get all that back in booze tomorrow night.
Attaboy, that's well done.
That's how we mapped out our Mexico trip. It was whatever we spent, it was close to $2,000 or whatever. And I sat down with Courtney and I'm if we have X amount of drinks every day, we fulfill our quota of what we spent on this trip. Thus, we have made the money. Not even including food. I'm just talking drinks here.
This is a free trip now. There was the girl math, how to buy a dress without
This is drunk math?
Is this boy math? Is figuring out.
This is alcoholic math.
That's a more accurate.
This is you have a problem math is what it is.
The best part is for anybody that knows you hate math. Math is not your favorite thing in the world.
So this took me an effort.
The act of you sitting down with a spreadsheet and figuring out a cost per drink.
Well, what I did was I went to the Toucan and I was like, how much is a pint? And I was like, okay, if every pint is this, then no.
I also just picture you and Courtney at the end of a Thursday at the all-inclusive. You're tired. It's been a long day. You're already pretty snapped. No. We need to drink 3 more to stay on path.
If you're really upset at yourself for spending money for going on a vacation, just math out how much you can get in your drinks and you'll feel a lot better about yourself. You're going to feel shitty when you get home, but
sure.
But you'll feel a lot better about yourself in the moment.
The money's still gone from your bank account, but at least your liver has something to speak about.
At a certain point, it becomes free booze, dude.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Can I just say, screw you?
What did I do? I got here late this morning. I haven't even done anything to you.
That's the problem. So Brock and I have known each other for a very long time now, good 5-6 years, something like that,
yeah.
And been working together at unreasonable hours and all over the country. And you used to be a big proponent of the hide and scare maneuver.
I used to like the prank a lot. That's died down over the past year or so.
I got in here today, very infrequent that I get here before Brock, who does live close enough that sometimes he walks to work. So I get in, I don't see your car, I come up the stairs, I figure, okay, I must have got here first. I come in, the alarm is not on. I go, oh, he must have walked to the station today. I come into the studio, the lights are all off,
and
immediately
hiding?
my brain immediately goes, he's in here somewhere. And I did what can only be described as a military level barracks inspection of this entire studio, plus that booth over there. I looked everywhere waiting for you to just jump up and ruin my morning.
That's amazing.
And it just turns out that someone didn't set the alarm last night.
Some people might say that says that we have an unhealthy relationship. I think that means I'm doing my job.
Brother, you are living rent-free in my head. And it's worse, too, because the light above me in the studio has been, on and off lately. It's not working properly. So even when I turn on the lights, it's this weird, eerie, dark corner over here.
Just anticipating me to jump out from behind something?
100%. Honestly, it wasn't until Brock sent me a message saying, hey, brother, running late today, that my heart was like, okay. And even then, I had a moment of is this part of the setup?
One thing you can never say about me is I don't keep you on your toes,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My heart's not supposed to get going that fast
I'm
that
trying to
early in
keep
the
you
morning.
young, man. I'm trying to keep that heart beating.
So I wanted to give you credit for the best prank you've pulled in a long time.
You know what? I'll take a round of applause for being so inside your head.
Yeah, the best prank you've pulled in a long time was misplacing your keys this morning.
That makes me so happy. I don't know why. That makes me so happy. Oh, and you know what? The best part is I'm going to get you now, and you're going to try. You're going to be a little more cool.
Yeah, it's
you're going to think I'm not here one morning.
We've turned it into a joke now, and now like in the back of my head, I'm going to lose that like always on guard DTA attitude, and then I'm going to come in here one day and I'm going to crap my pants.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
If you're having a bad day, or maybe you feel like life has just been kicking you, you're feeling down, you know what you need to do? You need to eat some cheese, apparently.
You know what? No, apparently. I buy that.
There was a research paper coming out of China. 2.3 million people were examined between their lifestyle habits, their health, and their relationship with cheese.
Okay.
And it turns out...
Sorry, just before... How many people?
2.3 million people.
Damn. Okay, carry on.
So this isn't one of those BS surveys that we
it's not
talk
like-
about where it's like 1,000 people were surveyed.
We asked 100 people. No, this is millions of people. What were the results?
Researchers found that while cheese was not directly responsible for longevity in people's lives, they did say a higher intake of cheese was a standout contributor for higher well-being scores amongst majority of people
I love
in
that.
this study.
Cheese won't make you live longer, but it'll make it easier to live. That's amazing news.
Cheese makes you happy, dude.
Cheese is the key to happiness.
A cheese a day will keep the depression away.
That's our next shirt. It's just going to say, have you tried cheese?
Yeah. You know what you need to do this weekend? Have a mental health charcuterie board.
Yes. Oh, my God. I love that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Grab a jar of Cheese Whiz, whatever it is,
Use Cheese Whiz the way that you see like people smear sauces on fancy plates. A smear of Cheese Whiz on your mental health charcuterie board.
Dude, do you remember how excited you were the first time you had melted cheese?
Oh, my God.
Cheese honestly does make you happy. There's so many varieties of it.
Dude, even I hate to keep coming back to Cheese Whiz because like barely cheese, but like the first time my mom gave me celery with Cheese Whiz filling the inside
You're like,
of it.
I like celery now.
I was like, I'll eat celery every damn day of my life.
I don't know anyone who doesn't like cheese. I mean, I guess there's like vegans and like people that are lactose
But
and
even
stuff.
we've seen this. You've had it in your own house. Vegan cheese is a thing that exists. Even when you're willing to give up cheese, you're going to find a way to cheese.
Well, even people that are lactose intolerant are really willing to put their bodies on the line. They're willing to risk it all just to have a little bit of some of that sweet, sweet cheese.
Oh, dude, you see it all the time. People just like eating slices of brie cheese and going, this is not going to go well later. And they don't care because in that moment, oh, they're so happy.
Being lactose intolerant and eating cheese is like going back to your ex and knowing she's going to hurt you, but you're like... I love it so much. The heart wants what the heart wants.
I stopped taking my depression medication and just started eating cheese.
Dude, I know we keep saying Cheese Whiz, but the Cheese Whiz slogan used to be, you know you want it.
That's true.
Right?
And you know what? They were right. To this day, they were right.
Cheese should be classified, honestly, as a drug, man.
We should be able to claim cheese purchases for, like, health credits.
Yeah.
On our taxes.
Cheese is a drug. I mean, think about it. You can eat it.
Yeah.
You can melt it. You can cook it. You can smoke it.
I honestly was waiting for you to say snort it, and I was like, please don't.
You can inject it into food, though. Cheese is a drug, dude. The greatest drug of all time.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I had to get some doctor stuff done yesterday, which included giving some blood for samples.
I hate
I
needles.
don't want to talk too much about it because I know
Yes.
you're not a needle guy, but I do want to use this time to apologize to the poor girl who was tasked with taking my blood for samples. Because I am a huge pain in the ass when it comes to
Trouble finding the vein?
Dude, I don't know what my veins are doing, but I would be a terrible heroin addict. They just do not come up anywhere near the surface. And I guess this poor girl was like a student or like in training at this clinic.
Oh, okay.
She's sitting there, man. She's poking and tapping and prodding on both my arms.
She's probably thinking it's her.
Well, that's just it. Yeah. She's apologizing over and over. She's like, I'm so sorry.
You're like, this usually doesn't happen to me.
I usually have so little trouble giving. I honestly, I was like trying to make her feel better. I was like, no, my veins suck. It's not you, it's me. She's stabbing like 2-3 times in the arm trying to get to the
dude,
veins.
it doesn't matter what profession you're in. Like, if you have to do something in front of someone and you keep messing up, like, honestly, it sucks. Yeah. Especially just poking someone with a needle. Like.
Well, and that's just it. Like, I mean, again, needles don't bother me. So, like, having to get poked a couple times in the arm, like, I'm not saying it feels good. Yeah. But I'm not freaking out. But she's, like, waiting for me to freak out. And then the icing on top for the awkward cake that we're making here. She's like, I have to go get my supervisor. I'm so sorry. Aww. And then she had to go to her boss and be like, can you please come and get this guy's blood? I can't find it.
Oh, poor girl.
I know. So I just wanted to say, if she's listening, because I think she kind of recognized who I was, which probably only made it more awkward. If you're listening this morning, it's not you, it's me and my lousy arms. And I'm sorry that it was such a stressful thing. But also, you were kind of awkward.
I mean, being awkward at work really does suck.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine having an awkward lawyer.
You're meeting him in the office and everything's fine, and then you go to like a trial scenario or something. He's just like, Your Honor, I just
never mind.
My client says he didn't do it. And, like, I don't know. I kind of believe him.
Dude, imagine watching like the O.J. Simpson trial and everyone was just awkward and they're like, so there's like this glove. Your
Honor, I think we all saw it. Like, that glove didn't really fit, so like we probably shouldn't count it, right?
What are some jobs that you can't be awkward at? Lawyer, I'd say police officer for sure.
Awkward police officer
coming up to the car.
Shy police officer pulls you over.
Hey, sorry to bother you.
I was just wondering, do you know why I pulled you over? Do you know what the speed limit is here? Just if you don't, it's fine. You know, we just talk about it.
Can you please stop resisting?
I was just wondering if you could maybe put your hands behind your back for me. That would really make my job easier.
Or like an awkward bouncer. Is it okay if I see your ID?
That's just what you're trying to get in the club.
Hey man, it's these guys want you out of here. If it was up to me,
I told them that it was probably cool if you stuck around, but like, they really think you should go, and like, I'm sorry, man. Hey, listen, why don't I give you my number? We can hang out sometime.
Someone just texted an HR person, which would be hilarious to go into a meeting, and they're like, so the reason I called you in here is I just wanted to talk about your behavior at work, which isn't a problem for me. For me, it's not.
Like if I was in charge, like, we would totally be best friends. Like, I would never get mad at you for this stuff. But like, other people said it sucked when you took your pants off. You know,
we were just talking a few minutes ago about car salesman. Yeah, dude, an awkward car salesman would be hilarious.
That's that Gil dude from The Simpsons.
Yeah, that's literally Gil.
What an awkward car salesman is. It's just like, it would just really mean a lot to me if you bought this car today, because like, I only get paid when people buy the cars.
No, that's okay if you found it cheaper at another dealership.
While I was in the bathroom, another salesperson came and showed you a different car. Okay, sure.
He's actually a really great guy.
Yeah, he's gonna really take good care of you. He's gonna be great for you.
The Brock and Dobby Podcast.
What's the best job for someone who's awkward?
Like where it would suit your skill set to be kind of an awkward person.
I guess you just don't even have to deal with people or talk with anyone.
First one that comes to mind, and it's a very specific job. Not a lot of people have it. Morgue technician.
Oh, yeah.
Someone who your whole job is working with the dead. Mm-hmm. You can say whatever you want. They're dead. Yeah. They're not going to notice.
Also, I mean, a lot of people find the profession weird, so they probably won't want to talk to you. I mean,
right? Yeah, it's a good way to keep people at bay. Even if you don't do the job, if you're out in a social situation you don't want to be in, you feel awkward, you don't want to talk to people. As soon as they go, so what do you do for work? Oh, I'm a morgue technician. Good chance they're going to be like, hey, all right, you have a great day.
Yeah.
And gone.
I think best job, if you're socially awkward or anything, truck driver. I mean, it's just you in the open road, basically.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
And I mean, how awkward could you really get over a CB radio? You know, odds are good. odds are good that you'll have minimal interactions. What, like at the gas station? You can pay at the pump at a lot of these places now.
Awkwardly talking to lot lizards, I guess. That would probably be it. Where you're like, no, I'm okay.
Imagine an awkward lot lizard, though. Hey there, big fella. I was just wondering if you maybe, I don't know, wanted to take me into your truck.
I think that's the profession that would be the most least awkward kind of people.
Yeah, you really need to have a sense of confidence if you're going to offer yourself up as the
But
product.
I mean, I don't know if I'm just stereotyping here, but I feel like librarian would be one. I mean, I just grew up being shushed all the time.
That's
so.
right. Yeah, honestly, like you don't have to really make a lot of small talk with people.
No.
It's frowned upon. You can keep to yourself and just sort of focus on your work.
It's kind of like being like a mailman or like a UPS driver, right? Like you're just delivering packages, right? You're kind of coming and going really quick.
Although I would say with any kind of delivery job, you're right. Like if you're a mailman or a mail person and you can like get to the door, drop off the mail and go, you've eliminated the awkward interactions. But every now and again, you're going to catch somebody who's like just coming out of their house as you're going for the mailbox. And if you're awkward, that's just a bad situation.
True. Especially if someone's like confronting you over a late package or something and you're like,
Right, yeah. Hey, you were supposed to drop off a package 3 days ago. I still haven't got it. You're like, I just don't want to be here anymore.
Someone just said an overnight security guard.
Ooh, yes. You can just completely hide out. What are you going to have an awkward interaction with a mannequin?
Well, and realistically, I mean, if anyone's going to rob the place, like you're usually supposed to not do something.
That's right. Yeah, the insurance will cover it. Just make sure that you don't get yourself hurt. You know, you don't have to give your life up for the store.
Yeah. 762-555. What are the best jobs for awkward people? It's something I've never thought about before.
It's probably like accounting or something like that, where you don't have to interact. It's just you and numbers.
Keep your head down, look at the screen kind of type thing.
Just email a spreadsheet out once a week or so, and that's it. Just don't talk to anybody.
Do you think the dudes who like pump out the porter potties probably keep it pretty quiet all day? Just muttering to themselves?
I think if you pump out the porta potties, you're awkward whether you like it or not, because what do you have to talk about at that point? Every story you have is going to be about pumping out crap, right?
You think your day was crappy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have cool stories to tell.
I mean, I'm sure you do to a certain demographic of people.
It's an essential service, and I would never knock anybody that does the job. Someone's got to do it, and bless the ones that do.
Yeah.
But I just feel like you can't have a non-awkward conversation about dumping out sewage.
You probably can't drink Blue Powerade either.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I did something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time yesterday. I made a scammer sad.
Sad?
Yeah. So I
like
still,
a phone scammer?
Yeah, I still have my Saskatchewan phone number because it's cheaper for some reason than if I'd switched to an Ontario number. And so, but I can always tell when I'm getting a scam because nobody from Saskatchewan ever calls me.
Yeah.
Unless it's scammers with those fake numbers. So if it's 306, I know it's going to be a scammer. I get a call yesterday after the show. I'm just like sitting on the couch at home and I go, I'll mess with somebody. So I answer it. It's about, what did they say? An iPhone has been charged to your account to the price of $707, which, like, that's not expensive for a new iPhone.
Sure.
That's a great deal. But I push the button and the guy gets on there and he starts telling me about, oh my God, your account it's compromised and it's so bad. And someone's in there and they're ordering expensive things. And I don't know why, but I just like turned on the waterworks. I was just like, oh man, I need you to help me get this fixed because like I can't, if you take $700 off my credit card, me and my kids, we're going to lose this apartment, man.
We can't eat this
week.
We
can't afford this. We won't be able to make rent. And this, I don't know where it came from.
Did you guilt trip a scammer?
I just laid it on and I could hear this guy. He starts backtracking. He's like, oh, you know what? Actually, I think I figured it out. I think there's been a misunderstanding. Like he was ready to not scam me. And then I told him to go have sex with his mother.
That's uncharted territory. I mean, it's usually the other round. They usually tell you they're going to bang your mom. But yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, man. Like, those, I feel bad because the scammers, they do get people who just, like, they're not thinking about it. They have too much trust in people.
It's also crazy because that's their job.
Right.
Right? Like,
100%.
I mean, most of them are like in some other country somewhere, right?
Yeah.
They're all just sitting in a room together, blah, blah, blah.
Right, there's huge call centers overseas.
But like, you go in every day being like, who can I screw over today?
Right. Their sole purpose in life is to try and take people's money away from them.
Mm-hmm.
And I found he must have just started. That's my guess. He hasn't been jaded properly yet.
Yeah.
He hasn't scammed enough people to get that thick skin. And I just hit him with the right combination of words, and he was just like, oh, no.
I love seeing how long I can spend on the phone with them. I actually get bummed out because whenever they call me, it's always the duct cleaning services for me.
Right.
I do the classic thing where I'll like tell them I have like a 7,000 square foot home. I'll be like, I have 4 furnaces. And you can tell they're like, oh, okay.
Wow, we hit the jackpot.
And then as soon as like they start asking more stuff, I'm like, but the weird thing is like I don't own ducks.
Yeah.
And they either get really annoyed and hang up, or they'll try and like be like, no, like not the animal.
Yeah.
Not the animal.
They're trying to work with you because now they think that you're a very wealthy person, and if they can just gain your trust, they'll take your money.
They get really mad though if they ask for your credit card number and then you just list something off and like, because immediately it'll come up and show that if it is a real credit card or not, right? They get pissed off at that, or they're smart too because you can give them an address and they'll be like, that's not a real place.
That's not real because they've got their computers all lined up in front of them. They've done this so many times.
Do you think like a good day for them is getting? They're like sales guys basically, but the opposite.
Instead of always be closing,
do you think they have quotas?
Always be scamming.
Always be scamming. They gotta have quotas.
Do you think they have employee incentives? Like
probably.
Like a whiteboard in the back that says like, this guy got 17 scams today, so he gets a free pizza lunch on Friday.
Absolutely. It's like the guy at the car dealership who doesn't sell anything, and they're like, Peter hasn't scammed anyone in like a month, dude.
Oh, Gil really needs to make this scam today. He's going home talking to the wife. I don't know what I'm doing. Every day I call these people, and every day they figure out that I'm scamming them.
That's got to be the weirdest job to get employee of the month for.
You are the best criminal we've ever seen around here.
Do you think in India that's something you can put on like your resume? Like I was a scammer from 2015 to 2024.
I was employee of the month from August through November, all right? I was scamming at a top tier level.
762-555. Have you ever messed with scammers before, or what's the best way to mess with scammers?
Honestly, for me, as long as they don't just quietly hang up, I consider it a win. Mm-hmm. Whether they get mad at you or whether they yell at you or whatever it is, if they just go and hang up, I didn't do well enough.
Yeah.
But if I can get a reaction out of them, I've had a good day.
I'm just like thinking I really need to talk to my mom because a lot of them apparently know her.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I want to ask you something, brother.
Okay.
What do you think is the greatest trophy in all of professional sports?
I mean, there's always the argument to be made for the Stanley Cup because it's big, it's such a legacy.
I'll tell you this, it's not the Stanley Cup.
I've always said that I think the Claret Jug, the golf trophy.
It's not that either.
Okay, well, hang on. There's a definitive answer? These are just opinions.
Take a guess.
It's not the Lombardi trophy, is it?
Ugh,
that one sucks.
No. Want to take one more stab at it?
Oh, is it like the World Cup, the soccer ball?
No, that one's lame too.
What is it?
The greatest trophy in sports is being awarded this weekend.
Okay.
In New Hampshire, as the NASCAR race is going down on Sunday. And the winner of the race...
Hang on, the greatest trophy is from NASCAR.
Dude, look at my screen here.
Okay.
May I introduce you to Ludon the Lobster that gets awarded to this weekend's winner of the race?
Is that a trophy or is it just a lobster?
It's a lobster, dude. The winner of this weekend's race not only gets a $7 million purse...
Okay, that's important.
But they get a 28-pound lobster as well.
Now, hang on. Because you said it has a name.
Yeah.
This is an annual thing?
It's an annual thing.
Is it a different lobster every year? Okay.
You get to keep the lobster. I've Googled it, apparently. Some people will cook it. Some people will go out for dinner like that night.
Yeah.
And kind of feast with the crew.
Well, sure.
Other people have, I guess, had it like shelled and mounted on their walls at home.
That's actually amazing. I was thinking in my head, because you referred to it as a trophy. Trophies usually go to a different person every year. I was thinking, is this like when you got to take the class pet home when you were in school?
Yeah.
Like you get to take you got to take the lobster home and take care of it for a year. And then
Just
bring
like
it
the
back.
class pet, sometimes it doesn't always make its way back, I guess. Dude, this is the greatest trophy I have ever seen. I didn't know this was a thing.
That lobster is massive,
It's
brother.
huge,
You
dude.
could very easily feast on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, how much do you think that lobster would cost?
Dude, I Googled it. A 20-pound lobster is at least like around $400.
Damn.
Yeah, so 28 pounds, probably maybe closer to 5, maybe
Right.
6. Yeah.
It is funny to think that we're talking about what's the price of the free lobster they get when you also mentioned they win $7 million. Probably lobster prices is not factoring into the equation, but still.
The photos of this thing are hilarious. If you've never seen it before, text lobster to 762-555 or check out the podcast links. They all just hold it up by the claws.
Yeah.
It's live, too, because it's still got the rubber bands on
Right.
it.
And the thing is, too, is that while NASCAR drivers are not small, like, say, horse jockeys,
Yeah.
they're not the biggest people, right? Like, you got to fit into the car and
Dude,
stuff.
look at how big this thing is, like, laid out on top of Buddy's car there.
Lobsters compared to NASCAR, that's monstrous.
Insane.
These lobsters compared to these drivers, like, when they're holding it up by the claws, it looks like they're holding up, like, a 7 to 8 year old child.
Yeah. Dude, I would be stoked if you did a good job at work and instead of, like, you know, getting a crappy, like, little gift card or something, if Jackie came in here with a lobster,
Yeah.
I'd be stoked on that, dude.
Yeah, lobster would be cool. We've both worked at a place that would reward you with a turkey at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And that kind of sucked. Because now you're walking out to your car with a turkey under your arm.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing that sucks is I guess if you're, like, vegetarian or something.
That's true. You're the vegetarian NASCAR driver who is awarded a 29-pound lobster for winning the race.
Set him free, dude. Put him back in the ocean.
I guess so.
Yeah. You know what? I don't even know if there's a vegan or vegetarian NASCAR driver out there.
I don't imagine they would be particularly popular amongst the fan base.
If there was, though, I would feel like this would be the race that would give you the most motivation to win, would
right.
it not?
So that you could save an animal. You could do your part for the planet.
If you're a vegetarian NASCAR driver and you lose this weekend in New Hampshire, shame on you,
You
dude.
basically murdered that lobster.
Shame on you.
That's on you. That's on your conscience.
I don't care what anyone wants to say. This is the greatest trophy in all of sports.
The Brock and Dobby Podcast.
We're still marveling over Ludon the lobster, which is going to be given away at a NASCAR race on Sunday for the champion.
Not me sitting over here trying to Google when's the earliest I can get my hands on a lobster dinner today.
Dude, I had no idea. NASCAR overall might have the best trophies
Really?
in all of sports. Yeah, someone just sent me more. There's Ludon the lobster.
Right, so this is, you win this race, you get a 28-pound lobster on top of the cash prize.
On top of the cash prize.
To do whatever you want with, whether it's keep it, eat it, whatever.
Now, in Sonoma, California, when they have their NASCAR race, you get your cash prize, and then you get a goblet of wine.
One singular cup?
You get one large cup of wine,
Do you get to keep the goblet?
I guess, and then the trophy has like a bottle of wine on it.
Okay.
So you get a big glass of wine after you finish the race.
I just love the idea of, like, because I say whatever you want, and I've said plenty about NASCAR,
Yeah.
but you win this competition, and you're essentially awarded a 7-Eleven memorial cup.
You're driving to drink. There's a lot of irony there, isn't there? In Nashville, of course, you get a guitar, which is very fitting.
That's fantastic.
Music City, right? In Texas, they have a race where the winner gets a full like cowboy gear setup, including your own boots, your own hat, and of course 2 guns.
Damn. Really?
2 loaded guns you get.
Why are they loaded?
I don't know.
That's crazy. You could be like, hey, you know what? You're a real Texan now. You want to race here? Here's your 10-gallon hat, your boots, your stirrups. Why you got bullets in the gun? What am I going to do with this?
Oh my God, that's so funny. Just getting a loaded weapon as your prize.
You would have to do the old oil tycoon from Simpsons, right? You'd have to pop them both off in the air.
Yeah.
That's obligated to do it.
And finally, this one is really weird. I had no idea about this. The Martinsville race that they have, the winner gets a grandfather clock. Which that kind of just seems like a burden, right? Apparently,
what am I going to do with this?
According to what I'm reading, like, this is the most prestigious one in all of NASCAR is winning this.
Well, I mean, listen, a fine handcrafted grandfather clock is an absolute showpiece in terms of interior design and decoration. Where am I going to put it? How am I going to get it home? I don't live in Martinsville.
Well, that's the biggest thing.
I don't live in Indiana. How am I getting this home?
Imagine if I showed up to the Christmas gift exchange party
with a grandfather
and I'm like, yeah, good luck, dude.
You got there before everybody else. It's just sitting inconspicuously in the corner. Someone draws out a card and it's like, that's yours. Take it home with you.
Someone just texted and apparently Jimmy Johnson has won 9 of these things.
9 grandfather clocks.
I know these guys are rich as hell, but like, where do you put 9 grandfather clocks?
I got a grandfather clock in every room in the house.
Imagine how terrifying it's got to be being in that guy's house at midnight. Place just sounds like the Vatican or something when the Pope dies.
Dude, Tom Brady has 6 Super Bowl rings. When he chooses to wear them all at once, he looks cringe as hell. Now imagine Jeff Gordon or whoever it was standing with his 9 grandfather clocks. What the hell are we doing here?
This dude's house looks like an episode of American Pickers or something, dude.
This guy's coming up towards the finish line in first place, and he just looks and goes, nah, it's the bricks and let someone else win.
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store. With all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.